Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a trellis for vining plants. This is also great protection to keep any animals out of your garden beds. I start out by sticking the stakes into the garden bed. I'm using 5-foot posts, and these are the posts that are recommended for use with the type of wire that I purchased. I decided to purchase heavy-duty garden wire that's 4 feet tall. It might be a little bit more than what the cucumbers need to grow up the trellis, but my dog also likes to get into the garden bed, and this will help keep her out. I hammer the top of the posts to drive them into the ground easier. I drive these into the soil until the T of the post is completely buried. I'm placing these on the very far corners of the garden bed, which will give the cucumbers the most room to grow. I hammer a post into each corner of the garden bed, and then I make sure that all of the posts are buried to the same height. Then I measure the distance between the 2 posts on the short end of the garden bed, so I know how long of a wire I need to cut. I start unrolling the garden wire and cut any of the ties that are holding the spool together. I also try to straighten the wire out as I pull it off the roll. Once I have the necessary length of wire framing pulled out, I use wire cutters to cut this sheet off. Then I take the wire frame over to the posts that are in the garden bed. The posts that I'm using have hooks that the wire frame slots onto. I slot the wire frame onto these hooks, and then later I'll tie it into place so it won't move. I use the same wrap that I'll use to tie the vegetables to the trellis to attach the wire frame to the post. This is just an added layer of security. With the trellis constructed, I now tie my cucumber vines to the trellis. I make sure that I'm not pulling on the cucumber plant very hard, and I don't cinch any of the wrap down too tightly. I definitely don't want to cut off any of the circulation or water flow inside the plant stems. I pull some of the leaves through to the other side of the trellis so the cucumber vine can grow on both sides of the trellis. Tying vining plants like cucumbers to a trellis will greatly improve the health of the plant. When the plants are able to grow up a trellis, they receive more sunlight. Additionally, they have better airflow growing upwards than being stuck on the ground near the dirt. Vining plants also take up less space when they grow vertically than if they grow across the ground, and in cases like vegetables, it makes the food so much easier to harvest. I repeat the same process to place a trellis on the other side of the garden bed. I planted my cucumbers on the ends of the garden bed specifically so that I could put a trellis here and make it easier to harvest the cucumbers. It's also nice to have the barrier on the end of the garden bed to prevent our dog from getting back behind the bed. Just between the time that I filmed this video and cut the video together, it's crazy to see how fast the cucumbers grow once they're able to grow up the trellis. Thanks for watching this video on how to make a trellis for vining plants. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and as always, like and subscribe to see more content.